But I must say, the defining moment for me came when I met up with a group of guys called Big Fun. Big Fun, Craig Karim, Denzel Heslop, and of course Craig White. And yes, Gregory White, sorry. Now, Gregory White, Craig Karim, and Denzel Heslop, there was a time when we went to a variety show in Wentworth. And when we were there, we witnessed a dance by a group called Simply Red, whereby they dance with night dresses.
Was that Brandon Fuller?
Yes, and another guy by the name of Boise.
Okay.
Yeah, he was also part of that group. And so we took that idea that, okay, when we come to our concert here, we will dress likewise. And all right, we performed, but that group Big Fun, that night, no, they took the cream, you know, and they really put us in our place. But, you know, my friend Milton was very defiant in that he said, never, you know, we the best. But that night when we danced in Wentworth, the picture that came to me is that the only reason why Wentworth is better than Merton Ridge is because of the numbers that they have on stage. And the numbers in terms of their group, how many members their groups comprise. So it makes it more interesting, it makes it more exciting. The stage is full, there's a lot to see. And then I said, no man, this is our way that we're gonna beat them. You see these guys here, even as they've beaten us hands down, why don't we amalgamate and we can form a group that we can represent Merton Ridge? I think that was the best decision. And so we took Big Fun and we took Crush City and we formed up the name Too Big to Crush. That was the best move we could ever make.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. Yeah. A lot of people related to even the dance moves and stuff and the concerts guys are doing it. Amazing. A lot of youngsters really like the group.
Yes, oh for sure.
And from there going forward, I mean, with the dancing and stuff, I guess, you know, it also came with a lot of females.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Not just in Merton Ridge.
Oh.
Because when we went out in terms of dancing,
yes.
I mean, setting the lighter stage like the club like Xanadu, I mean, you get Ventigos, Whispers, and all that. So we are well known. So in you, as Max, as you're a youngster going with this group of guys, I mean, a lot of people really like the group.
Yes, oh, for sure. And you mentioned Ventigos, and a memory that comes to mind, particularly in Ventigo, was, okay, like I said, we had already joined, you know, with Big Fun. And so we were like a clique, brothers, you know, moving together. And so the guys bought some alcohol. Well, that was our thing at the time. And it so happened that because you're dancing, so you get attracted to a lot of females. And so this one particular day, because it was at a matinee, we had our own straight, and which we were going to share all together. But now, because I had met this one girl, yeah, and at the time, you know, both boys and girls loved, you know, just to consume alcohol and, you know, enjoy the company that goes with it.
At this time, you had something to drink.
Yeah, yes.
So when you say a straight, you mean a bottle?
A straight, yes, 750 plus.
Okay.
Yes.
And now you're feeling nice. So
I'm feeling nice.
Okay.
Remember, this bottle is just bought, and it's bought for the guys, our friends, right? The group. And it was just cracked open by myself. And so, me being already under the influence, what I decided to do is that, no, I'm going to have consumed this whole bottle by myself with this newfound temporary love at the time. And it was so funny because the way the guys were on my back for doing such a move, but all in the name of fun, that we could even laugh about it and still go home together.
The whole bottle?
The whole bottle.
So did anybody carry back home, or you?
No, I guess I was right, because you see, that time there, it wasn't whereby you just consume alcohol and you're sitting down, because we were guys that love to dance. So when there's 4 songs on the dance floor, you're going to dance. So even as you dance, you're dancing this alcohol off. So you're not coming to a stage whereby you get so bad that the guys carry you away. That only happened if, okay, we're just sitting and consuming.
So tell me now, with regards to that, before we even go home after the club and stuff, so when the slow songs play, remember every guy like us, we used to have this thing to say, well, hey, you know what, hey, me, I snipe as in kiss, which girl and everything, because that was something everybody wanted to see and say, I saw it, let's see, whatever. So it was like a competition kind of thing. Do you remember or relate to some of these kind of accusations, or was it the norm with the guys?
No, I can relate to it perfectly. You know, when I think about that, now that you mention it, it was about, okay, you're going to go there to the club, you're going to have a good time. But then later on, I saw, okay, the only reason why a young girl would say no when it comes to the slow dances wasn't because of how you looked as a guy, but because you are dancing so much for the fast songs, you are now dripping like a tap. So when it comes to the slow pieces, that's why the girls used to say no. And so I found myself now, hey, you know what? You dance,
When you
and
say
then
no, when you say no to who? To
say
the dancers or just the individual? Or is this your interpretation of?
to the individual, whoever it can be, because sometimes what happens is you witness something from afar, whereby you see a guy, and in your book he's handsome, and he's going to approach a girl because he wants to dance for the slow piece, and she says no, and you think, hey, why? And then that's when it came to me, like I said, that, hey, you know what, we overexert ourselves during the fast songs, we're dripping with sweat, and which girl wants to dance with a guy who's dripping with sweat? And so you find yourself now, okay, you're starting to check yourself, you know, okay, right, maybe I'll dance for 3 songs, I'll relax a bit, get something to drink, knowing that, okay, there's about maybe 3-4 songs, but you must know we're like ashtrays there in the discos, and so you know exactly how everything is flowing. And so when it came to the slow pieces, you're already calm, and so when you approach a girl, then you're able to get an answer that is yes, because as a dancer, you're famous. It was very hard for girls to refuse, because every girl wanted to be associated with the guys that are famous. And so now that's when the kissing thing, you know that, okay, if you're on with a slow piece, chances are you're going to kiss that girl. And then it came to a stage where we're having so much fun, and then it came like a competition where you're finding guys with a list. Yes, you see it in a lot of these American movies, but that's the actual thing. A movie that comes to mind is The Wood. And there, those guys, there's the one particular scene where they're asking each other, hey, how many numbers you got? And so when you kiss, you're going to get a number as well. And so that's how you build relationships. And so it was nice, it was funny, but yes, girls, dancing, all that went together.
Okay, so basically this took part, there were matinees.
Yes.
And there were nightlife. Yeah? So did you guys go in the day and in the evening, as in to have fun in the clubs, as in the matinee and the evening club scenes?
Oh yes, we did. The matinees, of course, were from 1 to 5, and then the night jewels were from 9 o'clock till, as Snoop Dogg says, 6 in the morning. And so you find that there, when we could make it, we would go to the matinees, and then we would go to the evening club later on in the evening. But you find that later on, as the years went, these owners of these clubs decide to have something which they call then the marathon, whereby the matinee runs right through up until the night club, right until the morning. But in our time, yes, it was the matinee and of course the night club. So we still had an opportunity to go home, change up, so that they, you know, when you come to the evening, you're not dressed the same, and you're much fresher. You're really looking forward to perhaps maybe friends that you met at the matinee, and then you're gonna get reacquainted with them when it comes to the evening, Joel.
Okay, and then the money, where you guys got money from? I mean, how would you just get there? Because I mean, you weren't working, so how was this all maintained?
Well, you know, some of us, if I must say, we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. Our parents made do with what they had. But the fact that we had the drive to be good at what we do, at what we love, which is dancing, you find that it was of utmost importance that we always look good. And so if your parents couldn't provide for you, what you do is, that time there was a lot of part-time jobs. And I, for one, every Friday, as soon as I leave school, I'd find myself in OK bazaars at the time.
This is Pinetown.
In Pinetown. I work that Friday. I work as well as the Saturday, and so I'm covered, right? Sometimes, as you know, right, I'm working. During that time, the shops used to close. Shops used to close at 1 o'clock. So I still got time to get myself organized and go to the matinee day after. But that little bit money that I was making, that little bit money I was able to give my parents from that 45 rand or so we were thinking, and still lay-by. Lay-bys were a big thing that time. You find yourself, if maybe you wanted a Sebago, you're putting money aside, and then even as you're walking around with your slip, because there used to come a time where we all sit together, we look at our lay-by slips and we're checking, hey, you know, how much is my balance? And so it was a sense of achievement when you're able to pull out something which for you can see that, hey, my parents are unable to, you know, provide for me because there's other more important things like the lights, the water, and whatever. But the fact that you could buy yourself whatever, it was really a sense of accomplishment, and that's how we would make it. And that's how, even to have money to go to both the matinee and the nightclub, it used to come from these other sources other than from the money that maybe our parents would give us as allowances.